Hi, I'm Emme Hall, and welcome to today's episode, where I am pleased to report that my expectations have been blown out of the water. See, I've always had kind of a preconceived notions about American cars. Sure, we build great muscle cars, but a sporty sedan with a sleek interior and an innovative exterior? Not so much. We're really good at going really fast in a straight line. And then I got into this, the 2013 Cadillac ATS, and my prejudices have been unfounded. So the first thing I want to point out here is this well-designed and distinctive front end and headlight styling. Now, I've long been a fan of Audi and their LED running lights, and I really feel like Cadillac has jumped on that same plane of innovation with this front end. So when you turn on the car, these vertical running lights come up, and then the high intensity beams will show their full range of motion. They'll do a little, ooh. Also, you've got running lights along the side. The door handles light up, and there's also a piece of the trunk that will light up. So it really does give this car a very unique nighttime profile upon startup. As for the rear of the car, the taillights do echo the horizontal theme. And when you step back far enough, you can see that there's like a hexagonal shape going on, which is really quite pleasing. You've got dual exhaust as well as 18-inch aluminum wheels, and our model comes with summer tires. So in the trunk, you have what seems to be way more than 10 cubic feet of space, which I thought was gonna give it a pretty decent minimum laundry basket rating, but really have to kind of cram that one in here. And there's plenty of space left over, but there's just not enough for one whole one. So I'm gonna, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, just two. Sorry, Cadillac. Usually when I get into an American car, I just get the feeling of analog, kind of like the numbers, the display numbers and letters are like your Casio watch from circa 1987. Not that I would remember that, but in this car, not so much. I'm not gonna say it's perfect, but it certainly is a huge step in the right direction. You have an 8-inch touchscreen with navigation that's pretty easy to use, and you can even pinch and pull to zoom in and zoom out like we do on most of our fruit-based phones. But if you zoom in too much, then the navigation doesn't track you, and then suddenly your little car icon has driven right off the screen, and you're like, what's the next street? I don't know where I'm going. So again, it's really cool. It's got some good features there, but it's just not quite perfect. The touchscreen and the controls employ haptic feedback, so when you hit the right mark, the whole thing will emit a little bump, like a little vibration, like on some cell phones, to let you know that you've hit the right spot. But you need to be very, very accurate with your finger placement. So you need to make sure that you know exactly where you're going to hit, for example, the climate control, to make sure that it's going to do what you want it to do. So you actually have to pay a little bit more attention to your control here, which I find to be a bit of a detriment. I mean, I need to be able to be looking out this way and not messing around down here. So again, it's almost perfect, but it's just not quite there yet. They give you a little bit more room for error in the touchscreen part. I think it's going to be really awesome. So while the tech on this cabin is really close to awesome, the design as a whole definitely achieves a high level of awesomenity. Yes, that's a word, I just made it up. And Cadillac is a luxury brand, so this is exactly what you would expect. The leather is fine and supple. There's fantastic contrast here between the camel and the black, which I really enjoy. The gauge cluster is very well thought out and easy to read, and there's kind of a trompe-l'oeil thing going on where the numbers look like they're floating out just a little bit. So on a whole, I think this interior is very, very successful. Now here's one thing that would make Ross Rappaport poop his little pants. Check it out. Hidden storage. I bet you didn't even know that was there. You just swipe along the bottom and it opens and closes. Super secret stash. It's cool, huh? So as you can see, we've got plenty of room here in the back seat. This seat is set for my driving position at 5'9", and plenty of room. There is room for 5, but man, this person here is gonna be squished a little bit because you've got a lot of room taken up there by the drivetrain. And who cares anyway? You don't need a 5th person because you have a fantastic personal cup holder section right here. So our test model comes with the 3.6-liter turbo V6, but you can also get a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated engine or a 2.0-liter turbo. Now ours is good for 321 horsepower and 275 pound-feet of torque, and all of that is going to the rear wheels via a 6-speed automatic transmission, although you can get a manual transmission in the 2.0-liter. Complicated, but it's true. The steering has got a nice linear buildup, and it's very responsive. And you can drive this car in 3 different modes. You have regular, sport, or snow and ice. It's been a pretty balmy 70 degrees here in Washington, D.C., so I was really only able to drive it in sport, which frankly I prefer because you're going to have a quicker throttle response and the exhaust note is just a lot better in sport. I mean, listen to that. Our test model is equipped with a performance package, and that's really where this car does shine. Enough that it's bringing a Luftwaffe down on the BMW 3 Series. It's perfectly balanced with the 50-50 weight distribution, and even with the limited slip differential, there's just enough understeer to make it really fun. There are some go gadgets in here that keep you pretty safe. So one of them is the heads-up display. So you're never, ever going to be able to honestly say, well, I didn't know I was speeding, officer, because basically your speed is right there in front of your face. Now also your seat acts as a little bit of a safety monitor. So if you approach somebody too quickly or you try to make an unsafe lane change, your seat will, well, it'll vibrate to let you know that you're doing something wrong. Now in the city, that can be a little much because tailgating is kind of a way of life. So I turned off that vibration. I did not turn off that vibration. In fact, I tailgated a lot. The 2013 Cadillac ATS gets about 19 miles per gallon in the city and 28 out on the highway, although I averaged around 21 during my time with it. This car starts at $46,695, and our car here with the performance package and the cold weather package with heated seats and a heated steering wheel is going to set you back a cool 50 grand. Look, GM has really arrived with this car, so if you've always looked to the Germans for your sporty and stylish sedan, you're really not getting the whole picture. That's it for this week. I am Emme Hall. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, have you found me on Facebook and Twitter? I don't think you have. You should look me up. You can also join our community by subscribing to our YouTube channel and leaving me your comments. I do love to read every single one. Thanks so much. Have a groovy day. Bye-bye.
Dude, what happened to your eye?
Bar fight? Yeah, you should see what Ross Rappaport looks like, though. Melissa Kimball punched me in the face.
Who's Melissa Campbell?
Girl at work. I told her I'd say her name.
No.
Cliff diving while simultaneously writing non-rhyming poetry. Saving starving orphans in Antarctica. I rolled the race car. Just a little bit. No, I dropped my iPad on my face, okay? This is from my iPad. Don't worry, I'll go put makeup on it.